Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wild. Today we are talking about I won't deliver somewhere else because I won't get paid. Doordash driver says customer used fake address to skirt Pizza Hut's delivery radius. So customers have been known to try to game the system for a long time, and one of those ways they try to game the system is by setting up an address that is closer to the location which you're delivering, just enough so that way it's within that delivery radius, so that way when you arrive to that location they can contact you saying, oh my god, I was at a friend's house or I was at my work over there, like I needed to go to my house, I'm at my house, can you deliver it here? And they get no extra charge for trying to game the system that way. A lot of DoorDash drivers are tired of that behavior. So with that said, I want to go over what is being said in this article, how it actually is for DoorDash drivers and gig workers everywhere and everything in between. So with that said, let's get started. A TikToker claimed she was directed to a U-Haul to deliver a Pizza Hut order through a DoorDash app because the customer's actual location was outside of the delivery radius. Her cautionary tale serves as a warning to follow the rules, and commenters have chimed in to reinforce that message. How do you deliver to a U-Haul? A U-Haul needs an address. Like, how do you deliver to a U-Haul? You mean like a U-Haul building? You know what this could be is not that they're sending an order to a specific U-Haul. They're sending it to what was their job, and they work there, but they set up the wrong address because they're at home. The video comes courtesy of TikToker Whitney at Pineapplesandpolarbears, who, according to the other information available via her link tree, is based in the Tampa Bay area. Her rant was published to the platform on January 7th, gaining nearly 30,000 views and 40,000 likes as of Wednesday morning. The things you do for content, huh? I'm gonna leave her TikTok as well as her profile in the description so you can develop your own opinions on the subject. In the video, she chronicles the saga and explains why, even though she knew their customer was waiting for an order at a Holiday Inn outside the delivery radius specified to her on her DoorDash app, she handled the situation differently than her customer expected. There's always a special place in my heart for when a customer tries to game the system and the DoorDash driver is just not having it. Because honestly, customers who game the system that way is not only making the driver lose more money this way, they're trying to play games with the company and they're ruining a good system for everybody else. Like, imagine how good DoorDash could be if people stopped trying to game the system. Seriously. But realistically, we're never gonna truly get rid of people who do that, but that's not the point. The point is that she did the right thing and stood up for herself. She started the video by explaining, this should really go without saying, but some people are effing stupid, so I'm gonna spell it out for you. She then asserted that delivery services utilize GPS technology to make sure that their drivers are delivering food to people who ordered food. She also went on to report on a situation where DoorDash sent her an address half a mile from a Pizza Hut for delivery, which she claims went to a U-Haul place. So basically the place where all the U-Hauls go, from a company perspective, that's pretty much where it was going to, but the customer was in a hotel. And also, why is that customer trying to send you half a mile away? Like, at that point, wouldn't it make sense to try to get a middle area? Like, what's going on? So I text the customer, like, is this a mobile home park next door? Thinking maybe I misread the sign. And they said, no, I'm at the Holiday Inn over on this street. Yo, this is several miles away, Whitney says of the customer's actual location. Once again, usually not an issue, but you see stores you can pick their delivery radius, and for Pizza Hut, that's outside their delivery radius. They don't want their food being taken that far because it's not going to be as quality, which makes sense. She continues, if I go there with their order, DoorDash is not going to let me mark that order as delivered. It's going to go, are you sure GPS is not lining up with the correct location? Please proceed to the correct location for this delivery. Now, you could always contact support, but I think a lot of us gig workers are just tired of dealing with support. So I don't even blame her if she just dropped the order off there and that's it. The driver then asked the customer if he'd be picking up the order at the U-Haul. The customer insisted on having the pizza delivered to the Holiday Inn, but after communicating with someone at DoorDash based on their instruction, Whitney says she took it to the U-Haul as that was the address specified by the customer, was not responding to DoorDash's outreach. Either they weren't responding to DoorDash, or that Dasher Sport actually wasn't contacting the customer or the merchant, and they were pretending as if they were, and therefore they said, you know what, just leave it there. Honestly, I don't even blame DoorDash for doing that in this case. Like, I've seen DoorDash fake phone calls, but in this case, I'm like, oh, okay, I guess that's it then. According to DoorDash's website, if you're on a live order and need to change/update the address or instructions of that order, you should contact DoorDash support by either phoning or chatting in, which is also very true. And either they will provide you an extra half pay to deliver the order, or they will just tell you to leave it there. Whitney notes that she delivered the pizza to U-Haul and took a picture of it. She says a U-Haul worker questioned her. The employee's like, what are you doing? And I explained what had happened. The customer lied about his delivery address because delivery address was outside of the store's radius for delivery, so DoorDash tells me I have to leave the order here. And look at that, you got a free lunch or dinner or whatever time it is. After the employee asked if the customer was picking up the pizza there and noted that they couldn't be responsible for it, the creator said if the pizza magically disappears, well, they should have been accurate. And ain't that the freaking truth? She then smirked, the smile on their faces, y'all. I don't know if that's petty or karma or what, but the customer intentionally did what they did, noting how ready the customer was with the actual address when confronted about the wrong one. Oh, Jesus. Like, they were clearly trying to game the system. Honestly, I would be exactly the same way. I would be that kind of petty, too. Actually, scratch that. I don't even think that's petty. I think that is literally what we're supposed to be doing, and the way they were trying to game the system backfired in their stupid face, and because of that, she won. Commenters waited, with one noting, if this had happened a couple of times, I always text/call, so that way I have my A covered. 100%. Always contact support in this event. I would actually argue call before text, because you don't want to actually deal with Dasher Sport being Dasher Sport and not doing their job. So good on them. Another observed the DoorDashers in the town I lived in were so stoned all the time they couldn't find addresses as is. I wouldn't dream of doing that to them. Okay, why are people driving stoned, let alone DoorDashing stoned? Come on. One challenged Whitney by saying they could contact DoorDash to change their address and they will comp you the mileage difference. That's not always true. Sometimes they'll say that, and sometimes they'll be like, well, this is out of our delivery range. You have to leave it there and just let it go. It depends on the support agent you actually get. That led the creator to record a whole separate video explaining that the delivery address being outside of the store's delivery radius was the primary issue. Hence why it depends on which Dasher support agent you're dealing with. Whitney then characterized her actions as malicious compliance. Yeah, I guess it would be malicious compliance. I think that's a good way to put it. This is my opinion. It's worth what you pay for it. None of you pay me. There you go. Honestly, I don't blame her for taking the action she did. I don't think it was necessarily the wrong thing to do. I think that if you're gonna have customers act the way they do, you need to have a certain amount of boundaries so that way you don't end up getting caught up in something you shouldn't be getting caught up in. You shouldn't just blindly comply with whatever the customer says, and you shouldn't get scammed like that. Honestly, that stuff needs to stop, and the company needs to really start cracking down on customers like this. And they have been. Between cracking down on the refund method, cracking down on driver safety, and making sure that drivers are delivering under safe conditions, they're making moves to actually make sure that they're dealing with quality customers. All in all, make sure that when you're delivering on DoorDash that you're protecting yourself before just blindly accepting what the customer tells you, because your account safety is far more important than whatever the customer is trying to make you do, because people can get deactivated for doing the wrong thing here. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!